Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For anyone new here, my name is Jay, and today we are looking at tree stands. More specifically, kind of a concept I want to go over. The difference between a morning stand and an evening stand. Now, whether you use this type of concept or not, having designated morning stands and evening stands, this could apply to public or private land. I think one of the keys to a successful deer hunt is having those designated stands. We'll take this guy, for instance. I think this is going to be a really good morning stand. Some things that go into that. Probably about 250, maybe even 350 yards that way is I'm going to have a food plot. About 50, 60 yards from what it looks like that way, looks like a really decent bedding area. Really thick and nasty, hard to get into. Definitely spots in there you got to crawl around. So you can see the theme to a morning stand. Closer to bedding, further away from food. Why I do that, you might ask. Well, we'll take this same tree stand and I'll show another example in a bit. If I put that on near the food source, either on the food source or pretty close to it, and I'm going in there in the morning, there's a very high chance that those deer are going to be there already. And one of my biggest pet peeves is spooking deer. I don't want to do it. So with a morning stand, I move around that food source, come in here kind of towards the back side of my property, come right into here. Those deer, of course, exceptions to every rule, but in my experience over the last many years, those deer aren't necessarily in their bedding area yet when you come back here and get up into one of these stands that's near a bedding area to begin with. So morning stand, closer to bedding, further away from food. I'm going to guess if you use context clues, you're going to be able to figure out what an evening stand is kind of for. Let's go take a look at one of those. Okay, over here now. This is a good example of more of an evening stand. You're going to see the theme that I was just talking about. This stand over about that way is 80, 90 yards is going to be a decent sized food plot. Then behind the camera, at least probably 150 yards, give or take maybe a little bit more, starts a bedding area. Now about probably like 90-ish yards out in front of me, some does could be bedded out there as well. But you can see the theme here. An evening stand, I'm closer to the food source, further away from bedding. The morning stand, I'm closer to bedding, further away from the food source. If I were to hunt this stand in the morning, I might be able to get away with it because the food plot is a decent ways away and my access is going to be coming down through this big open timber where deer shouldn't be anyway. But again, I'm not one for risks. I don't want to chance something like that. Same thing over where we just were. Could I go in there in the evening and not spook something? Maybe. But especially towards your evening hours, those deer are definitely going to be in that bedding area, and getting in there and up that stand without spooking them is going to be very difficult. So that's why I designate specific morning and evening stands, to try to limit the ability to spook deer at the end of the day. So yeah, that's just something to think about whenever you're setting up stands this year. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think of my, it's not really my concept, but I don't see that many people doing it. Let me know if you have specific stands for morning and evening and things like that. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one.